I end every clinic I do now with a little 2-minute on just this. And it's where I think you can improve. Depends on your talent level, but where you can improve. I mean, 2, 3, or 4 shots today like that is around the green. And I'm not going to get into really technique too much, because first of all, it'll bore the hell out of you. And second of all, you're not going to change. I don't want you changing today. But just if I can get you on the green in your first effort, just get you on the green in the first try, I'm going to improve your game overnight. So first of all, I want to say before I even get started, what a beautiful place this is. This is fantastic. This is when I'm asked where my favorite places in the world are to play golf, Pinehurst is always 1, 2, or 3. But if I had a week to play before the good Lord took me, I'd want to come here just because of the atmosphere, the golf, the hotel, everything around here is golf, and it's fantastic. So I'm glad you're all here and able to enjoy it. I used to come here when I was in college a lot on those long weekends, if you know what I mean. And we'd play some golf, but we had the north-south here growing up, and we had the Pinehurst Intercollegiate we would play here every year, so it's kind of been in my blood for a long time. So anyway, the point of all of this today is one thing: get the ball on the ground faster, okay? When I first came on tour, I wasn't as good as I should have been from this area around the green because I took too much loft of a club. And an old pro, Don January, who's a dear friend of mine, gave me the best piece of advice I ever got one time. He said, Curtis, when you start choking your guts out, get the ball on the ground quicker because there's more room for error. And we all get nervous around the greens. The older I get, the more nervous I get. But unless you have a bunker or rough or something to carry. But the point is, get the ball on the green. I made the joke here a moment ago, the older I get, the more and farther from the green I putt. I do. And if I had it all to do again, if I didn't have deep rough between my ball and the putting surface, I'd putt it more. If I had, the conditions are so good now around the golf courses, because your law averages are so much better. So anyway, from this, if I was right here to that pin right there, I have a 7-iron. Now how many would take a 7-iron from here, or how many would take a sand wedge? A lot of sand wedges, right? To this one that's 40 feet from me. Okay, putter is good answer, 7-iron is good answer. But the reason I do this, or my judgment of this, is that I take the club that will just on its own hit, all I want to do is clear that fringe and on its own momentum run to the hole. So from here, it might be a 6-iron if I have to chip and can't putt. So my point is, if it's here, it'd probably be an 8-iron. But right in this area, it's probably right a 7-iron. So I'm going to carry just the fringe, and it should roll right to the hole. I mean, it's so much easier than taking a lofted club. And I see it time and time again where there's too much loft. Now think about it. If you take too much loft, or take a lofted club, I'll take a 58. You have to judge the distance you carry it, the spin you put on it, the firmness of the green, all the above. The shot has to be hit damn near perfect. See, it's so much tougher shot, so much tougher. So get the ball on the ground faster. Please ask questions, just yell them out whenever you have one. Technique, I don't want to do too much on, but I grip the chipper or the club like a putt, okay? I have the reverse overlap. My hands work better as a unit that way, and I go about it like a putt, almost. I don't, if I hit that longer shot, my feet are farther apart, I'm farther from the ball, I have more cock, more swing, because I have to carry it farther. But on this 7-iron, I'll grip it like a putt, I'll set up to it similar to a putt, a little farther from it, ball probably a little farther back, and just want to hit down on the ball. The problem most players have, they try to help the ball in the air too much. You got to hit it with a descending blow, just like every shot in the bag. I see the big tendency is to go this way. You bottom out behind the ball. You try to help it in the air, and you either hit behind it or you scull it. You have to hit down on it. You have to hit it like you would hit an 8-iron in a full shot, down and through. Jesus Christ. Well, there's my point right there. All right, that's exactly why we're doing this. The misses are better, all right? Middle of your stance. Wait just a little left of center. Just skin that and look where it got to. Does this make sense to you? I mean, think about it. Even if there's a little bit of fringe or rough, I'm still going to beat your brains out doing this every time. Just I'm going to hit this solid every time. So much easier, so much easier. Now, let's move back a little bit and talk about more loft when you have to. But it's the same principle. I still grip it like a putter. I get the ball back in my stance just ever so slightly, again to hit down on it. I'll hit an 8-iron from right here. But all I'm trying to do is take the club that's just going to carry the fringe and then run out on his own. Okay? It ain't real tough.
Are you hooding that at all to get some overspin on it? Are you hooding the...
No, I'm not. It's not creating any backspin, very, very little. But it's on such a low flight, it's scooting right up to the hole. Okay? And that, again, if you take a lofted club, say if I even took a pitching wedge for here, I've got to carry it farther up the green. It's going to have more backspin on it. I've got to worry about the run out. Plus, there's more room for error to mishit the ball. Hey, I do this for a living. I can do it with the pitch wedge too. No, but you understand the point. I'm not trying to hood it. You could, but there's no reason to.
And again, you're using a putter grip?
I'm using a putter grip. I use a putter grip until I just don't feel comfortable. It's too big a swing. If I have to go too hard, I go and grip it normally. But the putter grip to me gets my hands to work more as a unit, and I don't cock as much. I think a lot of people cock too much. When you cock the club too much on a short shot, you have too much angle, and then you have too much hit on the ball. Y'all watch, Steve Stricker's the best from around the green now, or one of the best, especially from 50 and 60 yards. Very stiff-wristed, isn't he? Kind of like this. Controls the club head, controls the speed, and does not have too much angle. Because if you have too much angle, you've got to get the angle out, don't you? If you don't, you're going to jam it into the ground. So, less wrist cock and let it swing with the arms. Let's see, what if we had this little shot here and say it was nasty, rough, a little bit of rough or whatever, bad, bumpy in front of me. This is where it gets a little bit delicate. I've got a sand wedge right here. Could use let me see if I can hit it. Just carry the fringe, but it's got to be hit perfectly. And didn't do it, see? There's little shots around there. Sometimes it's just tough to get it close to the hole. The best shot I saw last year? The best shot, the shot of the year, was Mickelson's third shot at the 15th hole Saturday at Augusta. You remember that?
Right.
He was this far over the back of the green, had 4 or 5 steps to work with, downhill, looking right at the water. So fast and hard you can't imagine. He took that big old 64 left-handed up in the air, it's down there about 4 feet. Greatest shot I've ever seen.
Can you replicate?
I don't know if it's the smartest shot I've ever seen. Well, I don't know for a fact it was a 64. I think it was. 64-degree wedge can hit you in the nose. But he has that ability. And Phil likes the dramatic anyway, but he has that ability to be able to swing hard and shoot that thing straight up in the air. And I don't, nor do I'm going to try it. more than likely I would never try to hit that shot. I would either putt it from here, maybe bump it a little 7-iron through the rough, or through the fringe, but I don't like that shot anymore. I'd much rather just putt it. All right, let's go to the other pin. Gosh, if I'm from here, I'm probably just going to go back to the 7-iron. And all it takes is just a little bit of practice on getting your distance with certain clubs and how far they run out. Just carry the fringe.
My teammates did that all day long today.
I'm sure they did.
That's kind of good.
Get in!
Oh! Oh! 2 times he was open there.
Nice!
Versus taking a 58, and you see this all too often. If I took a 58, well, all I know is probably half of you guys and ladies, those people are in dire straits over there.
We'll yell for it.
Hang loose, as they say.
More early.
It's just so much tougher to hit the shot. Who's got about a 10 handicap here? Decent player.
Right here.
You're a lefty? Yeah. You're lucky.
This guy right here.
Who's decent?
Right, come on in.
Right here.
Curtis, what about a hybrid?
You know, good question. We see that all the time now, using the hybrid or maybe the 3-wood. You're not going to teach that trick to this guy here. I still, you know, it might be good. I understand the purpose of it, to get the ball up on top of the grass right when you make contact, but I'm too old to try that one. I understand. I just think that, to me, the hybrid or the wood, 3-wood or 4-wood, it's so long and it's a little bit unwieldy. I want to get it closer to me. I want to be able to use the putter grip and get it closer to me that way. But I understand the whole principle. And we'll get into out of the rough here in a minute. What would you hit from here to this pin right here, the middle one?
I'd probably hit a 9.
A 9?
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any reason you would hit a 9, or you just?
Get it down lower. I never thought about getting it down right away.
Okay.
Right at the edge.
Okay. Let me see what you do. But now you've got to judge.
The only reason I used a 7 was if I was going to the longer one.
A 9-iron, a lot of times, the rule of thumb is to carry it about a third away to the hole. Okay.
Get in.
Looked like a pretty decent shot, but you got 20 feet coming back. Now try to hit, use a 8-iron now, and don't, no, you look like you hit down on it a lot.
Okay.
Hit an 8-iron and just carry the fringe. Just all I want you to think about is carrying this fringe right here, okay? Get your line, and forget about the pin, just carry the fringe. Better distance though. See, now you don't have to worry about what's out there. All you have to worry about is carrying right here. The last lookup I have when I'm looking at a hole and I have the fringe right here, the last thing all I'm trying to do is hit it right here.
Really?
All I'm trying to do is carry that fringe. I forget about that. If I pick the proper club, that's all I have to worry about. It's that simple. It really is.
That's 7?
7. What do you want to hit, another one?
Yeah. Is that what you hit? 7? Want to try 7?
Go ahead.
Close to it, right?
Go ahead.
You know, no matter what, I'll be using it tomorrow.
You want the mic too? All right, now just concentrate on that right there, okay?
Work. Get in the hole.
The invoice is coming, all right? Let's talk about for a moment if the pin is back over here and we had to carry it to that back right portion there. Yes.
On that shot, what's the amount of follow distance you get there?
Just momentum. you know, I get asked some of those questions and I don't have an answer, because all that is when you hit down and through, it's just going to stop there. It's just momentum where it stops. I mean, you want to get technical now, you want your weight on your left side a little bit, so you want to hit down and through the ball, okay? You want the ball pretty much in the middle of your stance. And when you make contact, you want those hands slightly ahead of the ball, okay? You don't want this action at all. And as I said earlier, you see a lot of the average player try to help the ball in the air and they hit behind it. You got to keep the hands, resist the ball in the air. Old pro heard him say that one time, resist the ball in the air, kind of, and you'll hit it solid. And you have to hit this shot solid, just like you have to hit that 5-iron out there. Because if you don't have this one solid, it's not going to carry the proper distance. It's not going to go the proper distance to the hole, okay? So there's really not, follow through, don't worry about it. The ball's gone. As long as those hands are leading through, just depends on how big the swing is.
Now, is that the 8 or what are you using?
No, that was just, I had the 58 in my hand.
58, okay.
Yeah. But it's not, you know, you can have fun and learn by taking a 58 or an 8-iron and go hit shots from everywhere. This is unbelievable, this practice facility here. But you can have fun doing everything and try different shots. That's how you get your feel. You know, when you're a kid, that's how, I learned this stuff when I was a kid, by just goofing off, you know. So, now if we have to go back, carry it to this back right hole location, I swear I wasn't going to do this to myself. But, you know, there's times you have to carry it up there. And it's a risky shot, it's a tough shot, especially as we get older. But the same principles as I just said, you've got to carry it farther, but you still got to hit down and through. The hands have to be ahead. The shaft has to be leaning forward at impact. Weight has to be on the left side because you want to hit it with a descending blow. Now, how do you get it in the air? Well, you get it in the air by opening up the club face, okay? But I only do that when it's absolutely necessary. I flipped at it, see? I hit it behind the ball and it ran out on me. You know, you see the guys on tour, the best in my day, the guy I played against was Tom Watson and Seve Ballesteros. As far as not just chipping the golf ball, but pitching the golf ball away from the green, taking a lofted club. They were fantastic. They had it, whatever it is, okay? Watson worked a lot on it, much like Phil Mickelson. Seve was just gifted. Seve had it, okay? Had a great imagination. Nowadays, you know, Tiger is excellent. Most of them are pretty doggone good, but Tiger is excellent. But I still don't think he holds a candle to Phil Mickelson. Phil not only has all the shots, but I love the way he plays them. He plays very much, when you watch Phil hit the shot, say a shot like this, he's very much got his hands ahead of the ball like this, always doesn't let that club head pass. Very much that way, comes in low a lot and tries to make everything. But he likes to hit, you know, see, I hit behind that one too, but anyway. All right, if you got to go up a little bit more, I said, you know, if you got to go up and down quickly, now you're going to get dangerous. First,
That would never happen at this time.
oh, you've got to have a decent lie to start with. If you have a tight lie, it's very dangerous. You've got to put the ball up in your stance a little bit, open that club face wide open. The 58 and the 60-degree wedges have less bounce, which is good. And you just got to be precise. Open the club face up, wide open. Hands might be behind a little bit, and when you come through, the club head has got to pass the hands, but still bottom out under the ball, okay? Let's try it.
Do you hinge your hands after the follow through?
Well, it's just I'm trying to get the angle out, so I'm trying to kind of do that. Not going to happen quite like that, because my tendency, that's kind of like my worst nightmare, is my club goes like that, okay? But you just got to open it up. And I know everybody's always, when I get in the bunker here in just a second, open up the club face is scary to you, but all it is creating more loft. Again, the clubs have changed so much over the years. You know, when we all grew up, we had a 56-degree sandwich with a lot of bounce. Our other option was a 56-degree sandwich with a lot of bounce. I mean, there was, all of our clubs as we grew up, there was no options. I mean, you remember that. Until Ping came along, they were the first ones, but now we have, I carry a 54-degree sandwich and a 58-degree lob wedge. That's just what I like. I use my 54-degree sandwich every time in a bunker unless I have a really short shot where I have to get it up and down quickly like right here. I only use this when I have to, the 58, because it's more room for error, okay? So